Hey everyone. It is time for WTF Wednesday. I am Kristen Kramer with Girl Friday Virtual Office. And today I am going to share my secret weapon on how I maximize taking notes in meetings without becoming distracted. So I don't know if you well, I'm sure you are having a lot of meetings where you're online. Maybe it's a video call, maybe it's on Zoom or Teams or another platform. Maybe it's phone calls, any number of things really. And, I am a prolific note taker. I mean, it rivals dictation. It's kind of like it's good, but it's sort of ridiculous, really. And one thing that I noticed, especially as we all moved to video calls and people wanted to be face to face virtually, is that, I am trying to take notes and I'm trying to listen and have a conversation and capture all of these, aha moments that my clients are having and ideas that I'm putting out there and how I'm saying it and pitching it to them and suggestions I'm making, all of those things, right? All the things that happen in a meeting. We hope that's what's happening. And what happens from time to time is I'm trying to write down something that they said and think about how they said it exactly. And I might miss another piece of information that is important for me to hear, or that they're asking a question about. Or I don't know if this has ever happened to you. You're in a meeting with somebody, you're both in the flow. It's like you're streaming consciousness, right? Just everything's just coming together and you've got this great energy and collaboration that's happening between you. And they say something and you're like, oh my gosh, that is like genius. Can you say it again? And they kind of look at you with an expression similar to this. Oh gosh, okay, so how did I say that? I said something like, no, that's not it. And so all of a sudden your momentum comes to this screeching halt, but it was something like really amazing. And you're like, I totally missed writing it down. I mean, I was in a coaching call a couple weeks ago, same thing. He is like on a roll. And I mean, the suggestions that he's making to me is nothing short of pure gold. I'm trying to write as fast as I can. And because the ideas are coming to him at such a fast rate, he is just like, rattling everything off, sort of like it probably feels if you're on the receiving end of a conversation with me. So he had all this great information, all these great suggestions for messaging that I've desperately been wanting to pin down. And I could not write fast enough. And what's worse is that because I was trying to write down what he was saying, I was kind of sort of missing bits and pieces of what the other things that he was saying. So I was like, of course this happens when I'm not using my secret weapon. Naturally, right? So yeah, I mean, it's really tough. And the other thing for me is that the note taking was distracting, and I felt as though I was struggling to be fully present with the person I was meeting with and engaged. So I'm sure I looked distracted. I had one client that was like, "Why are you rolling your eyes at me?" And I'm like, then I'm like my daughter at 13. I'm like, I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I don't think I'm rolling my eyes at you. But what I think was happening is we're on a video call. I have my notebook down here and I'm writing notes and I'm kind of glancing up and I'm thinking and I'm glancing up, and it's that kind of eye motion. And so she perceived that as I'm rolling my eyes at her. And I felt really bad because I don't want her to feel that way. And so we had this weird miscommunication happening. So this may help you avoid a situation like that with your client or whomever you're meeting with, a peer or supervisor, and them thinking that you're rolling your eyes at them. Because that was kind of like, it came out of left field at me and I was completely shocked. So I started looking for a way of how do you stay engaged? How do you stay fully present? How do you keep the flow of the conversation and the momentum of that collaborative effort going without sacrificing taking notes so that you can remember the details of the conversation and you have any, follow-up items that need to take place after the conversation? Because usually there's some follow-up, right, after you have a conversation. If you've ever recorded a Zoom meeting, you've probably noticed if you've recorded it locally, and I'm not sure if this is true on the free version, so forgive me for not knowing for sure. I'm on a paid version of Zoom. So when I record on Zoom to my computer, not the cloud, but to my computer, it will give me an audio file and the video file of my meeting, okay? So what I do is I take the audio file and I transcribe that. And I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. The other thing is that if I'm on a phone call, so clearly in a phone call, unless you're using a conference line, there's not typically a way to just record your call. I tested it on my phone with another app and it recorded me, but not the other person. And trust me, I'm sure that there are apps out there that will allow you to record the full conversation, but I was just testing it on the fly out of curiosity. So if I'm on a phone call or another platform that's not taking place where I can record it on one of my devices, then what I'll do is I'll put it on speaker and I can record it using voice recorder on my computer. Now, I'm very fortunate on the front end of most days, and that I have the house to myself. And so it's usually pretty quiet. So I'm in a quiet environment where a speakerphone is not disruptive, disruptive to anyone around me. And it's not causing problems with the person on the other line hearing me and being able to have the conversation without going, what? I can't hear you. It sounds like you're standing at the stadium in the football, game. So a couple things that you need to make sure that you do first. All right. If you're going to record a meeting, do be sure to get the other person or person's permission. And it doesn't have to be complex. It can simply be, do you mind if I record this call for the purpose of note taking? That's easy enough, right? If you're using a scheduling system like Calendly or, something that the scheduling that's in Keep or something like that, you can always put in there, you could either put as part of the statement that this call may be recorded for the purpose of note taking, so you alert them there. Or in Calendly, what I do is I have a question when they schedule a call with me. Do I have your permission to record this call for the purpose of note taking? Okay, yes, no, other. And then I also ask, would they like me to share a copy of the recorded meeting with them? Because I figure if it's helpful to me to have it on file, it's certainly helpful to them. And with my coaching clients, I always share the recorded meeting with them. And I've started, now that I'm doing the transcription, I've started sharing that as well. The other thing is that you have to, if you're on Zoom, you have to record locally. So to your local computer, not the cloud. So keep that in mind. And, sometimes this will happen, right? You're having a great conversation with someone and all of a sudden they're having all of these big aha moments. And in the back of your mind, if you're sort of like a salesperson, like I am. In the back of your mind, you might be like, oh my God, that's like marketing amazement right there, right? Like I'd really like to use that. That'd be so awesome if I could use it for marketing. So if something like that happens and they're having like these moments of clarity and the light bulbs going off and, you know, all these epiphanies are happening, just ask them like, hey, you know, we uncovered a lot of aha moments for you. Would you mind if I took an outtake of this piece of it and used that on my website to show folks the results that, you know, I can help my clients obtain? If they say yes, or well, I don't really know, you know, be sure that you send to them a copy of what you plan to post prior to posting it, and just make sure that they're comfortable with it. Now, if they're not comfortable with it, that's okay. It's fine. Maybe they aren't comfortable with you sharing the video clip. They might be comfortable with you sharing a portion of the transcript. But again, it's in the asking of permission and making sure that you're both on the same page. You know, you want to be respectful of their privacy and also make sure that you're being fully transparent. Very important to operate from a place of integrity. And especially for coaching calls, or if you're having a call with a client where they're being very candid about what they're struggling with, they may not necessarily want the entire world to know that they're struggling with something, because as entrepreneurs, when we're trying to close on business, we want to show a face to our clients that even if we're still trying to figure some of it out, or we're getting some help, you know, figuring logistics out or the tech out, we still want to be seen as confident and competent. So bear that in mind. All right. So here's how I use this to get the most out of my meetings without being distracted, so that I can stay fully engaged and fully present in the conversation with the person or the folks that I'm meeting with. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you. And let's see. All right, so you should be able to see Word here. Now, there is one other little thing that you need to be aware of with this particular technique. So I am a Microsoft 365 subscriber. As many of you know, I am a Microsoft geek. Like, I geek out on all things Microsoft. But if you are on a Mac and you have a 365 subscription, you should still be able to do this, but you have to be a 365 subscriber, and you absolutely must use the online version of Microsoft Word. It is not available on your desktop version. So that's kind of a bummer. And Microsoft, if you're listening, I need you to, you know, fix that. So what you're going to do is, when Zoom gives you that audio file, okay, you are going to, and I think I'll just go ahead and grab one real quick out of mine. So bear with me a hot minute here. And let's see, gotta grab one that is kind of short. So, you know, that could be a challenge for me. Okay, so I've got it. All right, so you're gonna log into your 365 account online. You are going to open up Word Online, and from there, you're going to open up a new document. So here I've got my new document. And if you've ever used Word Online, or if you haven't, one thing you're going to notice is over here is the file name. So this automatically titled it document 21. And then you see the status says saved. So in this regard, Word Online, as well as all the Microsoft apps online, operate similarly to your Google platform, where it automatically saves any changes that you make. That can be super helpful, and it can also be incredibly annoying, usually more annoying on my end, especially if you're making a lot of edits, but that's a whole nother talk. So You can rename this, all right, because you probably want to name it something that you're going to remember. So all you do is you can either click on the menu here and you can rename it here, or you can go File, Save As, and Rename. And when you do that, it brings up the same window. And if you want to move it to a different file location, it's pointed to OneDrive with your Microsoft account. So you would just click on this little menu icon here and it will open up a file explorer online so that you can select a different folder. Okay, so there's that. Make sure you rename it to something that you'll remember what it's named, and you put it in a folder that you can remember where you've placed it, or alternately, make sure that you remember it's document 21 and that it's saved under users documents. Okay. And it would be your name under users. So here we have our blank Word document. So if you come over here to the toolbar and you see dictate, there's a little drop down menu here. So click on that and you're going to grab transcribe. When you do that, the menu that opens up gives you an option to either upload audio or start recording. So if you're doing it after the fact, you could click on upload audio, and then you could come into your Zoom folder, and which one am I in? I think I'm in this one. Grab audio and then open. And again, we're transcribing the audio file, so that's the one that you want to upload. And in fact, I don't even think it'll allow you to upload the video file. So naturally, I pick one that's kind of big. I have no idea which meeting that was. But oh my goodness, yeah, 25%. Okay, so we're going to cancel that because I don't think you want to be here for an hour and a half. So what you would do is, like I said, you just upload your audio file and then you would transcribe it. So I know I'm going to have just let's see if I can find a shorter one, but you know how this girl is. I am a talker and a half. So let's see here. Maybe this one's shorter. This one might've been really, really short. And of course we're on borrowed bandwidth, so that doesn't help with, streaming and uploading and all that. My internet, my Google Fiber, and my computer are probably like for real. So while that's doing that, I am going to do a more detailed tutorial on this so that you can kind of see what it looks like from start to finish and how you can rework your transcription file to really get the most use out of it. Okay. So it's making some good progress. If you are interested in receiving that email, what I need you to do is go out to my website and opt in. So when you get out there, you're going to see a pop-up. It's going to come up and it's going to say, download the 3 bold moves to take control of your day. Just grab that one, enter your information in. And because I'm working on this today, I'll know that if you sign up today, that's the email that you're looking for. I know. Best practices, there should be like a little checkbox or separate landing page, all of those things. But I'm doing this on the fly. So we're just going to roll with it because entrepreneurs, we are, ever problem solving, right? That's what we do. Think on our feet. So, it is still taking a long time. I apologize. So in that tutorial that you get an email, it'll go into a lot more detail. So that's the only reason I'm saying to, potentially, go out there and sign up for it. I don't send out a ton of emails. I'm sure people are like, am I ever getting an email from you? It's a work in progress, folks. So I appreciate getting some grace on that. But now you can see that it's uploaded. It has uploaded the file, and here's all of this, right? So so what we have here, okay, is it's going to and of course this only has one speaker because it's me. probably recording. Oh, I was recording a training on social networking. So you can go through here after it transcribes, and you can, update to label it differently than speaker 1, speaker 2, or whatever. And it will track speakers by the voices. So if you have 4 people that are in the meeting with you, it will track all 4 voices, and you'll have speaker 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can edit those here. When you've done that, though, what you want to do is you'll see here when it's done that it says that it's been saved to OneDrive. Okay, so I can come over here to the little box down here, add to document, and then I can select just text with speakers with time stamps with speakers and timestamps. All right. If you were going to use this transcription to manually add the transcription or captioning to your videos, you would want it with speakers and timestamps, okay? Because you want to make sure it syncs up correctly, and that it's not like an old school Godzilla movie where the frame of the film and the words on the screen don't match up. Some of you might remember what that is. All right, so, but if I do just with speakers, then what it's going to do is it drops it into my Word document. Okay, from here, then you can do whatever you want to do with it. But the good news is you have the audio file now in text. All right, so that's that. The other thing you can do, so I'm going to come over here real quick and start a new document, and I'm going to close this one. So now let's say you're just going to record audio. All right, so I can come over here too, and I can go to dictate again, transcribe. And this time what I want to do is I'm going to record an audio file like in real time. So I click on start recording, and if I'm on a phone call and it's on speaker, then it's going to pick up everyone that's on that call, and it'll do the same thing. Only this time it's also recording the audio file. So when I'm done with that, I can hit save and transcribe now. Or, hey, you know what? If you step away because, somebody has to take a call, or somebody's pounding on their door because, there's a delivery they need to sign for, whatever, then you can also hit pause, stop the recording, resume when you're both back on the call. And then when you're done, you just hit save and transcribe now. So you can see it's uploading it to OneDrive, and then here we go. So I'm going to come down here to add to document, and this time I'm just going to do just text. Okay, now here's the transcript, and then guess what? Here's your audio file. So if something doesn't transcribe correctly, you can, and you're like, what on earth do we mean by that? You can go back and listen to the actual audio file and the recording. So it's really handy to have. So what would you do with this document? Well, one thing is you can share it with your client, right? So now you have the transcription of your meeting. And once you clean it up, because you do want to clean it up and make sure that it makes sense, it's part of making sure you're understood correctly. Once you do that, you can go through here or have your VA go through here and pull out any actionable items. Now you can add a section to the bottom of your document that says, follow up or next steps, or, upcoming appointments. If you guys set a date for an upcoming meeting to regroup or get back together, you can add all of this to document. And now you have a working document that you can share with your client along with the video if they want that. So, and if nothing else, you've got it for you and your business, which is, I'm telling you, like a lifesaver. So, so that is my secret weapon on how I maximize the meetings that I have with folks. Now, if you get on the phone or a meeting with someone and they're like, no, I don't want you to record it, well, then you're back to taking notes and jotting stuff down. But that doesn't happen very often. Most of the time, folks are okay with me recording stuff. And again, with my coaching clients, I give them a copy of the video for their files so that they can review it. And I also generate a copy of the transcription so that they have notes, and guess what? Now they have a Word document. They can add notes or thoughts that come to them after reviewing it, maybe for follow-up conversations. So I hope you found this helpful for WTF Wednesday. And again, if you are interested in getting a full tutorial in your email, chances are it'll have to be a link, folks, because videos don't email very well. They're kind of big. But if you want access to that full tutorial, I need you to go out to my website or go to boldmovesboss.com and just sign up, and then I will add you to the list to get this in your inbox. And there I'm going to show you some finished pieces so that you can see what the document looks like and how you might create one for yourself. Heck, if I'm feeling really ambitious, I may even just give you a template that you can just use. So any questions, let me know. I would love to know if this is helpful information. And if you try it out, how did it work for you? Did you find it useful? Was it easy? What'd you think? Oh, and sorry, side note, there are other apps that will do this for you. So like otter.ai or otter.io. I honestly cannot remember the extension, but just type otter transcription and it'll come up. I have used that. It works well. They have a free and a paid version. But seriously, like this is included in my 365 subscription. So I don't feel like paying for another subscription. I'm going to use the one that's already included and that I have access to. I did look into Google Docs because I know some folks just prefer Google Docs. So I went over there and to see if they have the same feature, and they do not. So you can use Dictate, and that's like a voice to text feature that you can also use verbal commands to put in punctuation and other things like that. I'll show you what that looks like on the video. And so they have that. They have Dictate available, but not Transcribe. So for me, this has been a lifesaver, and I mean, and it works great. And honestly, the transcription that it provides is 99% of the time spot on. So I don't have to do a lot of edits either. So saves me some time there too. But let me know what you think, and give it a try and tell me how it works for you. And until then, you know, we'll keep making some amazing things happen. I will see you on Friday for Chuck It in the Fuck It Bucket Friday. Again, I'm Kristen Kramer with Girl Friday Virtual Office. And until Friday, go out there, dare to dream big, and blaze some trails on your own. I will see you on Friday. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you to try this.